I felt like throwing up when I looked at my cousin's feet. He was standing ankle-deep in mud, wearing my brand-new, never-worn $3,500 Off-White X Air Jordan 1 Chicagos that he had stolen from my display case. I'm not exaggerating about the nausea. It hit me in the gut like a physical punch. To understand why I almost passed out, you have to understand these aren't just shoes. They are artifacts. Designed by the late Virgil Abloh, they are a deconstructed masterpiece of sneaker history. The exposed foam, the air printed on the midsole, the iconic red zip tie, they are art. I paid a resale premium for them 2 years ago. They were dead stock. Mint condition. They had never touched a floor, let alone the outside world. And now, they were submerged in 3 inches of wet, brown sludge in my backyard. My cousin, Tyler, 12M, didn't see me standing on the patio. He was too busy lining up a penalty kick with a muddy soccer ball. I watched in slow-motion horror as he planted his left foot, the left sneaker sinking deeper into the mire, and swung his right leg. Thud. He connected with the ball. But he also connected with the ground. The toe box of the right sneaker scraped violently against a hidden rock or root in the mud. I heard the scuff. I felt it in my own skin. Goal! Tyler screamed, raising his arms in victory. As he ran a victory lap, mud flew from the heels. The red zip tie, usually a badge of honor for collectors, was dragging through the dirt, acting like a plow. The white mesh side panels were turning a sickly shade of brown as the dirty water soaked instantly into the delicate material. Tyler! I screamed. My voice cracked. It didn't sound like me. It sounded like a wounded animal. Tyler stopped running. He looked up at me, wiping sweat from his forehead with a muddy hand. He grinned. Hey, Op. Check it out. I'm messy. I didn't answer. I couldn't move my legs. I just stared at his feet. The Chicago red leather was caked. The laces, the iconic ones with shoelaces printed on them, were untied and trailing in the muck, frayed and stained. My Aunt Linda walked out onto the patio behind me, holding a glass of lemonade. She followed my gaze. Oh, look at him having fun, she said, taking a sip. It's so good to get them away from the screens, isn't it? He loves soccer. I turned my head slowly to look at her. Linda, I whispered. What is he wearing? She squinted. Oh, he just borrowed a pair of sneakers from your closet. He forgot his cleats at home, and he didn't want to ruin his school shoes in the mud. I told him it was fine. You have so many boxes in there, I figured you wouldn't miss one pair. I felt the blood rushing to my head. You went into my office? You opened the display case. It wasn't locked, she shrugged. Besides, they were just sitting there. Shoes are meant to be worn. OP, don't be stingy. Stingy? I choked out. Linda, those are Off-Whites. They are worth $3,500. Linda laughed. It was a loud, dismissive cackle. 3,000? 4 tennis shoes? Stop lying. You always exaggerate to sound important. They look like they're falling apart anyway, with the foam sticking out. They're probably defects you got at the outlet. I looked back at Tyler. He was kicking the ball against the fence now. Thump. Thump. Every impact drove more mud into the pores of the leather. Every step destroyed the resale value, the history, and the hours of overtime I worked to buy them. Tyler. I roared, finally regaining control of my limbs. Take them off. Freeze. Tyler looked scared for a second, but then he looked at his mom. Mom, OP is yelling at me. Don't you yell at him. Linda snapped at me, putting her hands on her hips. He's just playing. Let him finish his game. You can wash the shoes later. God, you are so dramatic. I didn't listen to her. I ran out into the rain-soaked yard, my socks instantly soaking through. I wasn't wearing shoes, sprinting toward the destruction of my holy grail. I grabbed Tyler by the shoulder right as he was winding up for another kick. I said stop. I yelled, spinning him around. Tyler slipped in the mud. He flailed, planting his feet, my feet, deep into the sludge to catch his balance. The toe box of the right sneaker bent at a 90-degree angle. I saw the leather ripple and crease. A permanence car. Oh, let go. Tyler whined, trying to shake me off. Mom. He grabbed me, Sit down, I ordered, pointing to a somewhat dry patch of grass. Take them off. Now. Tyler sat, pouting. He yanked the laces. He didn't untie them. He just pulled until the knot tightened into a hard ball. Then he stepped on the heel of the left shoe to pry his foot out. I winced. He was crushing the heel cup. Careful. I barked. He kicked the shoes off. They landed with a wet splat in the grass. Tyler ran back to the patio in his muddy socks, crying to his mother. I picked up the shoes. They were heavy. So heavy. The water had soaked through the exposed foam tongue. The pristine white laces were brown. The iconic Air text on the midsole was scuffed and illegible on the right shoe. Inside, the soles were filled with gritty, sandy water. My grails, I whispered. They are dead. Linda marched down the steps, her heels clicking on the patio stones. She looked furious, not at her son, but at me. You are a bully, she shouted. Look at him. He's crying. You care more about some stupid gym shoes than your own family. I stood up, holding the dripping carcasses of the Air Jordans. I walked toward her until I was inches away. I wanted her to smell the swamp water. These aren't gym shoes, Linda, I said, my voice shaking with rage. These are collectibles. I told you. $3,000. And you let him play soccer in the mud with them. Linda rolled her eyes so hard I thought they'd get stuck. Oh, stop lying, she scoffed. $3,000? For those. They look like they were made in a garage. The foam is yellow. There's writing all over them with a Sharpie. They look like trash. That is the design. I yelled. It's Virgil Abloh. It's deconstructed fashion. And now, thanks to your parenting, they are actually trash. Well, fix them, she snapped. God, you act like it's the end of the world. Just get the garden hose and spray them off. Put them in the washing machine with some bleach. They'll be white again in an hour. My vision blurred. The washing machine? Bleach. Linda, these are leather and suede. Water destroys them. Bleach destroys them. You can't just wash a collector's item. They are shoes, she screamed back, getting in my face. Shoes are meant for walking. If they can't handle a little dirt, then you got ripped off. You should be mad at the store, not me. I am mad at the person who went into my private office and stole my property. I countered. I didn't steal them, she defended. I borrowed them, and now I'm returning them. You can clean them. Stop trying to scam me. I know you just want money for your little video games or whatever. I want to be reimbursed, I said cold-heartedly. You owe me $3,500. Or you buy me a replacement pair on StockX right now. I am not giving you a dime, Linda declared, crossing her arms. I'm not paying for your buyer's remorse. You bought ugly shoes, and now you want me to bail you out? No way. Come on. Tyler, we are leaving. Your cousin is having a mental breakdown. She grabbed Tyler's hand. Don't look at him, honey. He's being mean. If you leave, I said, I'm filing a police report. Linda laughed. Go ahead. Call the police. Tell them a little boy got mud on your tennis shoes. They'll laugh you out of the station. She turned and walked into the house to grab her purse. I stood there in the yard, holding the ruined shoes. She thought I was bluffing. She thought the world worked on her logic. I walked to the patio table. I set the shoes down. I pulled out my phone. I wasn't going to hose them off. I was going to bag them for evidence. I didn't try to clean them. I knew better. The next morning, I took the sodden, stiffened shoes to the Sneaker Lab, a high-end restoration shop in the city. The owner, Mike, is a legend. His restored Jordans from 1985. When I opened the bag, Mike physically recoiled. Oh man, he whispered. Reverse Chicago's? What happened? Did you run a marathon in a swamp? My cousin, I said. Can you save them? Mike put on gloves. He inspected the leather. He smelled the inside. I can clean them, he said slowly. I can get the mud off. But the water damage to the inner foam is catastrophic. The shape is warped. The leather is stiffening as it dries. And the text. It's peeling. I can make them wearable for mowing the lawn, But as a collectible? They are dead. You went from a PSA 10 to a PSA 1. He wrote me an official appraisal. Current value, $150, donor parts. Replacement value, dead stock size $10,538. The price had gone up since I bought them. The invoice. I screenshot the StockX Buy Now page. I scanned Mike's appraisal. I sent it all to Linda via email and text. Subject, invoice for damaged property. Linda, attached is the professional assessment. You owe me $3,800. Please pay within 30 days. She called me 2 minutes later. Are you insane? She screamed. $4,000? For shoes. I looked on Amazon. I saw red Nikes for $80. You are trying to rob me. Those are generic dunks, Linda, I said calmly. These are off-whites. The market dictates the price, not Amazon. I'm not paying, she shrieked. I'll buy you the Amazon ones. Take it or leave it. I'll see you in court, I said. The court case. I filed in small claims. Since the value was under the $5,000 limit, I didn't need a lawyer. Linda showed up wearing a very nice dress, trying to look like a victim. She brought the printed Amazon page for the $80 shoes. Your Honor, she told the judge, my nephew is greedy. He's trying to extort me. Look at these shoes. They are identical. I walked up to the bench. I handed the judge the StockX sales history. I handed him Mike's appraisal on letterhead. I handed him photos of the shoes before the incident, sitting in their display case. The judge, a younger guy who fortunately seemed to know what hype-beast culture was, looked at the papers. The judge said, this is a limited edition designer item. It's like comparing a print of the Mona Lisa to the actual painting. You entered his home, took his property without permission, and destroyed it through negligence. But it was mud, she argued. Dirt washes off. Not off unsealed leather, the judge corrected. Judgment for the plaintiff. The verdict. The defendant is ordered to pay the full replacement value of $3,800 plus court costs. Linda turned pale. I can't. I have a car payment. Then you should have respected his property, the judge said. The aftermath. She didn't pay. I had to garnish her wages. It took 18 months, but I got every cent. The family drama was intense. My mom thinks I was too harsh, but my dad, who collects vintage tools, high-fived me. I bought a new pair, and I bought a fingerprint lock for my office door. Linda still tells people I'm a con artist. But every time I walk into my office and see my fresh, pristine off-whites sitting in their case, I know I did the right thing. You don't touch the grail. And if you do, you pay the price.